Hello my boys, good morning! So recently GGG teased some new crafting orbs that they will introduce in page 326 Secrets of the Atlas, and I want to discuss them really fast. Not only that, recently they also made here a post basically telling that we're listening to the community. So someone wrote something and they answered we're on it, and then they broadcast it to all the Discord servers. This is a subconscious way of telling people, man, we are listening, we are GGG and listening, and I want to discuss this towards the end because I want to talk a little about game immersion and the importance of that thing. Keep in mind I'm an old school player, so you might not agree with my take. But first we need to talk about the new end game crafting orbs, yeah? This one that we added. Yeah, first thing that you need to understand, in case you're new to PoE Excel, that most of the player base, casual players, most of the casual players will not interact with veiled orbs or with this one, with influenced exalted orbs. Most of them will not. Maybe they will farm them and give them to crafters, yeah? Especially this one, Veiled Orbs and Veiled Chaos Orb, that we will talk in a second, will be used for high-end game crafting. Yeah, so the average player will not touch these things. But let's start first with these orbs here. So they introduced orbs for Shaper Influence and Elder Influence. This we didn't have it in the game. But curiously enough, we had orbs for Hunter, Crusader, Warlord and Redeemer Influence. These were already existing and they work the same way. This is very straightforward. You take the orb, you have an item which doesn't have an influence, you apply on it and it will give you the specific influence. Now, if you're new to PoE Excel 1 and you never played the game, I will explain briefly what its influence is all about. So in PoE Excel we have different items. Once they drop with influence, you will have they will have the color. If they have some green here, you also have the icon at the top if you see. This is Hunter Influence. Now, this one here, you see the lighting, this is influence. You need to understand influence, you see. This is the basically it. This is, for example, Shaper Influence. And now you can trigger Shaper Influence with the orb that will be added, and most likely it will be put here in the currency tab, exotic part. Maybe here they will add two more and they will put the orbs for Shaper Influence. So maybe you have a helmet with good modifiers, you put the orb and it will give you the Shaper Influence alongside with a special influence mode for that influence for Shaper. That's why it's good. These orbs currently drop from these maps. Let's go here. So we have these special maps here which influence for the Hunter, for the Warlord, etc. And at the end there is a tiny chance to drop the orb. Not only that, after you do 4 maps, you can also do the Maven Arena with Kirak. Here, you do the Maven Arena with Kirak. And there you can also get these orbs again. It has a slight chance. My guess is that for the Elder, you can get them by doing the Elder Guardians here. It will have a tiny chance since we have 4 Elder Guardians, maybe a lower drop chance. And for the Shaper Exalted Orbs, we will drop it from the Shaper Guardian maps. This makes most common sense in my head. Especially because if you do now Elder or Shaper, we already have some orbs there. Yeah, so I don't think they will also add the Shaper or Elder Exalted Orbs on top. Plus, these are identical to the ones that we currently have here. So this is my prediction. They will be added to the Elder maps, Guardian maps and Shaper Guardian maps. Now my boys, let's talk about the Veiled Orbs. So we currently have in game this one, Veiled Orbs, that removes a random modifier and add a random Veiled modifier to a rare item. Well, if you're new to PoE Excel 1, you need to understand that Veiled modifiers are slightly better than normal modifiers. Yeah. So let me open the video now. We had here the spoiler. So they will rename Veiled Orb into Veiled Exalted Orb. As a matter of fact, if you see the text line here, it's identical to the one from the video. So this is the same orb, you don't lose anything. But they will make the Veiled Chaos Orb return back. So we had this in the past. This is actually much more common to get. Even in Ether of World Influence, I'm pretty sure there is an altar that gives you Veiled Chaos Orbs. And you can drop a lot of them if you get lucky inside the map. Yeah, again, this is for the high-end game crafters. Basically, you will use those things. Suffixes cannot be changed, prefixes cannot be changed. On the crafting bench, let me show you this. So this is for advanced crafting. If you're new to the game, you won't do this. Plus, for a lot of casual players, you know, you need to pay diviner. So don't worry about this. Basically, you get an item with 3 tier 1 suffixes, which are great. After you put suffix cannot be changed, then you put the Veiled Chaos Orb, and you get a good prefix with a Veiled modifier. Basically 4 good modifiers. Yeah, this is advanced crafting. Or you can do prefixes cannot be changed. This you do when you have 3 great prefixes. But again, you will not touch this as a new player. Yeah, these are not It won't affect the casual player, this one. Maybe for farming, you farm these orbs and you give them to the crafters. Now, my boys, let's get into the thing that I want to talk most. It's about game immersion. So as I said in the introduction, they did it like 3 hours ago, I think, this post, and they pushed it to all the Discord servers, Let's see what's all about. So they put here 2 images. Basically on Reddit, someone asked a question. It would save me thousands of clicks each league if we could just control click on the bench crafts and have them applied, instead of clicking available options and then clicking the craft. This is especially bad when trying to get correct colors on an item with the socketed craft. Here it's right. So for anything sockets related, yeah, you need to do a lot of clicks and can suck. Here I'm talking in general. And they said on it, so they will implement it. This is the idea. GGG started doing mass quality of lives. The first quality of lives were incredible, really useful and good, but some of them are questionable. For example, in Path of Exile 2, they added a quality of life where you no longer need to open your inventory to check your orbs and to juice the strong boxes or the essences to apply Valor in Path of Exile 2 or Remnant of Corruption in Path of Exile 1. And for me, game immersion is very important. My fear for Path of Exile 1 is that the game will start feeling more and more arcade. If you get a lot of loot everywhere, if you have easy access to your items and you can finish the build fast, this, in my opinion, ruins the game immersion. And you need to understand, so in the past at least, it made players to open their inventory and take a look. Man, I have these orbs to put it, I have no... And now what you do? You find the strong boxes, and you just click with the mouse. Click, 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 and it juice it, and it opens for you. Everything gets automated, yeah? I'm sure it will save you time, but in my eyes, this ruins a little the game immersion. So that little steps that you had to do in order to check your inventory and check for the orbs if you have them. Now the computer even tells you if you have the orbs in an inventory, if you have them or not. So in my eyes, GGG needs to be very careful with this quality of lives, because still they need to keep the game immersion. So my boys, you need to understand, if you do this brainless game where you get your items very quickly, you clear everything one shot, everything gets automated for you, man, this ruins the game, yeah. It's no longer, it feels like an Asian game, you just enter and clear everything and you go back to your job, In the past, for the old games, people usually got emotionally attached to these games because of the story, really good storylines, because of the things, little things that you had to do. You had to go here to your inventory, check your items manually. You had here to go to the crafting bench. Man, you had to place the item here. You don't need... These tiny things can give you game immersion. And in my eyes, game immersion is good for the quality of the games. I think that modern games now are more obsessed with time. They want to be effective, as much effective. Now everywhere we have guides. People do not experiment anymore. This is a problem with modern gaming. Also, I think that it's a problem with the new generation of gamers, which is a different discussion altogether. And I hope you don't get upset on PoE, guy. Again, I'm an old nerd that, I'm a different faction. I'm a different faction. Well, that's about it. Good luck and enjoy the rest of the day.